You hold XRP, this is a video you are absolutely going to want to watch till the end. We are currently watching a massive piece of turmoil in markets kick off right now. And I want to talk about something that could put even more negative selling pressure on the cryptocurrency market and what needs to happen for us to avoid this altogether. Guys, in this video, I want to break down something that you absolutely need to be paying attention to. Guys, make sure to stick around for this whole thing. You're not going to want to miss it. Like always, if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. That said, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content. So guys, let's jump right into the video, and I want to start off with what is most important to be paying attention to right now, and that is it looks like the United States is going to be relaunching strikes in Iran. Now, this is the last piece of news anyone wants to hear, and the cryptocurrency market is already reacting to it. XRP is putting in a red candle on this news, but to be honest, not as bad as I think a lot of people probably anticipated. I think the vast majority of this has actually been priced into the market. When I first saw this headline, I instantly checked the price charts to see what was going on and very quickly realized that price charts weren't reacting to this as negatively as they have in the past. I think the vast majority of people see this escalation or see this reintroduction of strikes on Iran as something that's been being talked about for a bit now. We haven't gotten a negotiation people have wanted, but I think the general sentiment still is that ultimately these strikes are not to create a prolonged escalation, but instead to push the other side back towards negotiation. So the thing we're going to have to really watch here is how bad things get in the Middle East. Are these strikes something that kick off an even bigger reaction from the opponent? Or do we kind of do this and then both sides come back to the negotiating table and they're like, yeah, we don't really want to go through this whole escalation thing again? That's what we're going to need to be paying attention to. Honestly, what I'm hearing right now in terms of the market that I think is probably telling me more than anything else is the fact that right now, Bitcoin OGs are totally flipping negative on Bitcoin. In the last couple of days, I have seen Anthony Scaramucci, Mark Cuban, Gary Cardone, as well as someone else who's super prominent. Oh, Mike Novogratz, all essentially coming out and saying they're sick and tired of Bitcoin. They're annoyed with it. They wish it was going up, all these things. It's so funny how you can have these large professional investors who are so emotional about price charts. Look, I totally understand being in an asset and that asset not going up in price and that being exhausting and annoying, but I don't see how that would make you dislike an asset. You either have a thesis about why an asset is going to transform the world, or you're just simply betting on price action. And to be honest, the way we're seeing a lot of people like the Gary Cardones, like the Mark Cubans come out and say, oh, I don't like Bitcoin anymore because the price is going down. To me, it's pretty silly. And it goes to show, like, the thing that I always talk about, like, a lot of these people aren't as smart as they make themselves out to be. A lot of these people who are anti-XRP or say these things about the cryptocurrency industry, as you can see, they don't have any real thesis about crypto. They're just here to try to make a quick buck. Take a look at the Bitcoin price chart, guys. Yes, Bitcoin has gone down significantly from 120,000, but like anyone in for any amount of time, right, is positive. These guys are the definition of people who bought here and now are complaining that they're down on Bitcoin. And then they're going to be the first people to be pro Bitcoin the second it rebounds. It's just so important to realize that it's people like this that, in my opinion, really get too much credibility for their opinions. But over the long run, right, Bitcoin's just going to keep pushing up and cryptocurrency and XRP are going to follow. And these people are simply going to be figureheads and championing their own race as soon as things turn around and they're suddenly going to be pro Bitcoin again. But it goes to show that taking advice from these people, listening to these people, valuing their opinions probably isn't really worth it. These are people who never understood the technology in the first place. They took until 2025, 2026 to even approach Bitcoin. And that's the same group of people who are coming out and saying, oh, I wouldn't even bother with XRP. Don't even look at XRP. XRP is nothing burger. Guys, the truth is not only do these people not understand XRP, they don't even understand Bitcoin. They're just here to try to make a quick buck. But let me tell you right now, these are the people who will never actually make significant amounts of money in this asset class. And the reason for that is very simple. The truth is these people are not the type of people who make strategic allocations when it is the most profitable time to do so. And what do I mean by that? Well, the truth is the vast majority of people, the Mark Cubans, the Gary Cardones of the world, right, that stature of investor, right, they're not the people who actually like to take risk. They're not the people who actually like to figure things out when they're hard to figure out. The group of people who are figuring that out in Bitcoin were figuring it out back here in 2016 and 2014. They were the people figuring it out here in 2020 and 2022, right? Those were the people who are actually making educated bets based off their understanding of Bitcoin that no one else understood. In the same exact way that I believe we in the XRP community are making bets on XRP when it's unpopular to do so, but we have a strategic education and insight to XRP that gives us information that is going to do well. So look, you're never going to have the mass populace investing in XRP here, right? This is not when it's the strategically interesting time to do so. This is not when it's popular to do so. This isn't when all the celebrities are going to be running around telling you about XRP. But guys, that's the whole point in it, right? That's where all the money is made. The people who made money in Bitcoin weren't buying next to Mark Cuban and Grant Cardone. The people who made money in Bitcoin were buying 5 to 10 years earlier. In my opinion, those same celebrities, those big names are going to come to XRP eventually, but it's going to be at a 10, 20, 30, $100 XRP when they start showing up. And you just need to understand that piece of market psychology and that market principle. Because right now, the truth is the vast majority of people are not following what those people are saying. The people on the inside are doing the opposite. As you can tell by the institutions right now, what we're seeing is money flooding out of the Bitcoin ETFs and actually to the XRP ETFs. Money flooding out of the Ethereum ETFs, money flowing into the XRP ETFs. This is something that I believe is only going to accelerate, because the truth is the real narratives in the cryptocurrency market, I believe, are about to change in a really big way. For the first time ever, we're starting to see people really focus on utility, and not so much from the standpoint of, oh, well, that's where all the investment dollars are flowing right at this moment, right? We still have a bit for that. But what we're seeing right now is that for the first time ever, the XRP ledger is becoming the #1 chain for tokenization. Currently, the XRP ledger is the #1 blockchain for Ondo's tokenized US Treasury Fund, surpassing both Ethereum and Solana. Guys, I have a vision for the future of the cryptocurrency industry that looks a lot different than the Mark Cubans and the Gary Cardones would talk about. The Mark Cubans, the Gary Cardones, that stature of high-profile crypto investor, they just see it as, hey, let me go throw some money in this and hopefully it goes up over the next 2 to 3 years, right? That's their thesis on Bitcoin. There's no actual understanding of the technology. There's no actual desire for this technology to actually get adopted in any real way, because they don't even really understand what the technology is really for. The truth is anyone who actually understood the technology would be looking at what the XRP ledger is doing in creating an actual new financial platform that large financial institutions could utilize to upgrade their current financial infrastructure. At the end of the day, that's what blockchain technology is. And if your thesis isn't based around this blockchain technology actually being used, then what is your thesis even around? Because if it's just around price go up, then you're never actually going to be the one making the money, because you're just going to be buying the bags of the people who figured it out before you. What the XRP ledger is being positioned to become is a next generation platform for asset issuance and settlement. What we're seeing for the first time ever is stable coins are proliferating throughout the world, which is tokenized fiat money. But guess what? We're not going to stop there. We're going to have tokenized treasuries. We're going to have tokenized bonds. We're going to have tokenized stocks. And we're going to move to a completely tokenized economy, where digital assets like XRP are the liquidity that link it all together. Guys, this is a thesis that is so much bigger than is Bitcoin going up right now, right? That's how the vast majority of the market looks at it today. But we're going to move through that, and we're going to move past it. And the people who actually understand why they're here, who actually understand the technicals, the fundamentals of why these technologies exist, those are the people who are going to win big. And in 5 to 10 years from now, all the high-profile celebrity people, they're going to then come rushing into those specific assets and say, oh, now I like this one, and I think it's going to go up in price. The truth is the vast majority of them aren't even going to understand the technology then. They might have a couple quick buzzwords they're going to talk about or mention here or there, but they're certainly not going to understand the fundamental reason that allowed us to buy when it wasn't sexy, when it wasn't pretty, when no one else wanted to buy. But the truth is that is when the money's made. The money is not made from buying an asset that's already up 1,000% on the year. The money is not made from buying an asset like Bitcoin that already has mass adoption. The money is made by finding undervalued, underappreciated ideas in the market that have the potential to have massive asymmetric upside. The playground XRP is playing in is a playground with trillions to quadrillions of dollars in capital. And if all the big banks and financial institutions are right, that is all going to flood into DLT technology. The vast majority of people, especially the Gary Cardones and the Mark Cubans of the world, they can't see that. They don't see that future. But guys, one day, when it's obvious and it's already happening, they're going to be jumping right in, just like we did years prior. The only difference is we're going to be the ones to make all the money. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. And for now, make a out.